As COVID-19 spreads its way across the world, it will no doubt leave some ghost stories that will haunt us for generations to come. Most pandemics do. Take the Spanish flu, which infected 500 million people around the world. One of those was an 18-year-old student attending Coe College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa in October of 1918. Helen Roberts, who'd only just arrived in Cedar Rapids to begin her studies, was quarantined with other sick students on the second floor of a student residence building. The influenza virus that would end Helen's life in the fall of 1918 would go on to kill millions around the world, including 675,000 Americans. About a year after Helen's death, students at the college began to report sightings of a girl dressed in white that would disappear down a hallway late at night. The story reemerged in the late 60s when students living on the second floor of the residence building where Helen had died reported that things in her old living quarters began to move around on their own, with students also claiming to hear strange noises at night, including pounding in the walls that would awaken residents. It goes without saying that the bubonic plague, or Black Death of the 14th century, has ghost stories galore associated with it. Poveglia Island, part of Venice in the north of Italy, was once a dumping ground for people suffering from the plague. They were unloaded from boats hastily in order to prevent spread. The topsoil on Poveglia is rumored to be 50% human ash. Visitors to the island report an immediate and overwhelming feeling of being watched. Some say they've been touched by invisible hands. Others report being pushed into walls by some type of invisible entity. Following the bubonic plague, Poveglia Island was used as an insane asylum, where the conditions were said to be inhumane, with the patients being used in unethical medical testing. Patients on the island also reported seeing spirits and hearing unexplained wailing. One doctor, who was rumored to have performed unauthorized lobotomies on patients, was said to have been harassed by vengeful spirits until he was finally driven to suicide. A church in Knowlton in the south of England has been the sighting of several ghosts that can be traced back to the plague. A mystery horse and rider are said to gallop across the church grounds late at night, only to disappear through the church walls. Villagers have often reported a ghostly face appearing in a tower window, with some claiming to have seen a sobbing nun kneeling outside the church. And in Scandinavian countries, there are tales of a menacing figure known as Pesta, the very personification of Black Death itself. The hideous and shriveled woman was said to appear at houses affected by the Black Death. It was said that if Pesta came to the door with a rake, there may be hope for some in the house. If she carried a broom, however, all in the home were about to die. It sounds like a lot of us will be spending time indoors over the next foreseeable future. I hope you'll consider spending some time with us at Ghosts Among Us. Our channel is loaded with interesting and informative stories of ghost sightings from around the world. Join us. Click here to subscribe.